Well, good evening, everybody, or good afternoon, or morning, wherever you may be. Welcome along to another session with me. Returning at home with me. Great. So, I hope you've all had a great weekend. It's been raining here non-stop all weekend, cold and wet and damp. That's the way it goes in Northern Ireland. So we can't expect anything else other than that. If we get a wee day, it's a good day. Make the most of it. So I'll bring in Doug, who is my earworm, and just bring him in. Where is he? Oh, I, I just forgot where I was there.
Gotta
Run,
push all the right buttons.
yep, all
Hello,
the right buttons,
everybody.
all the wrong buttons. oh,
Whatever the case may be.
oh, so So I will tell you what I'm going to do, and I'll put Doug in the background where he likes to be. Bye for now.
Bye.
Right now, okay, over the question, the piece in question. So I've got a cube of oak here, and it's 5.5 by 5.5. I was given this on Saturday, this piece of wood. So I don't really know how dry it is, but it looks fairly dry. And if you're trying to do one of these square uh, bowls, you need to get the measurements dead on because it matters when you come to turn the edge down. If it's off by much, you'll see it in one end. And I've tried to get this 100%. So I'm driving it through the drive spindle on the lathe, and then the tailstock is taking the R end up. I just flattened the wee end of that, and you can uh, move it up and down on the wee flat bit on the pin. So what I do usually to see if my measurements on cutting was right, I will put a wee bit of tape on and get a wee pencil and just put it on the edge here and turn each side round. And if you're more or less within, can you see that? I practically my name's in the way.
It
Uh,
is.
hold on, I can fix that. I can
There
fix
you
that.
go. Perfect.
So what I was doing there, guys, I put my pencil on the edge of the piece of wood and bring it across my tape. I'll do that again and bring each side round. And if you're more or less within the vicinity of it, you should match up with all your lines. If you're a wee bit out, now I say a wee bit, it doesn't really matter. Because you can always tweak it a wee bit when you come to the final sanding of it, and you can use uh, your flat disc sander and in a headstock, and you can use it, tweak it a wee bit just to bring it in line. Okay, so I will get a tenon put in this side. Put that camera back where it was. There, that's better. And we'll get it turned around and put it in the chuck. I was just looking at this piece of timber before we started, and this is where the pith was. So I'm going to put a tenon on that, turn it around, and make this the bottom. So I'm going to turn all this away, turning the pith away as well. So it's a thing to look out for. If you have a bit of the pith in your piece, you want to get rid of it. So hopefully that there's a wee slight crack there. Hopefully I'll be able to turn that all away, and there shouldn't be any mishaps with it. So all looks good. So Doug, you can tell me who's in.
Yeah, sounds great. Hello, everybody. It is good to see you all again. I've been counting the days till Monday and Tuesday to get around again, so it's good to be here with you. I'm going to start in the live chat and just go down the list there. Starting at the top, I see Norman Greenwell. There's Todd at Glen Cove Woodworks. Fred Gilliver. The professor is in. Vinnie Charlton is here. Hello, Mike Evans. Paul Heighton. Keep going down the list here. Holy cow, it jumped on me all of a sudden. Copper Al is here. Jennifer Craft and Creations is here. Nigel Harvey is here. We have to scroll down. Well, maybe I am at the bottom. Go back up to the top, make sure I didn't miss anybody. Raymond Wise. Hello, Raymond. MB Wood Turning. You told us your name, and I've forgotten what it is, brother. Tell us again what your name is, if you would. Dale at Old Man River Wood Turner. James Crawford. Matt Ibbotson. Wivy Woodshed. Hello. Tony Smith is in. Albert Dawson. Hello, Al. How you doing today? Brian Best is in. MG Woodworks. Hey, how you doing, Leo? Good to see you. And I think that's pretty well all of us. Karsten Pedersen is in.
Well, welcome along, everyone. And so I'm just putting the tenon on this, so we're going to turn it around and get it in the chuck.
Fred Gilliver just had guests arrive, and so he's going to go for a while.
Just square this end up. And you want a nice flat surface for the jaws to sit again. So, and slight dovetail if you have your jaws that accept a wee dovetail. Sometimes they're straight and sometimes they're dovetail. Depends what chuck you have. Right.
Now, Malcolm Douglas is in. Hello, Malcolm.
So we'll get that out. So there's the wee flat bit I was talking about earlier. I just took that off of the saw on the bandsaw so I can move it around on the pin. And that's the way you can tweak it a wee bit to get it on the true line you need. Keep losing things. Oh, I've got it. Just looking for my wee mallet to knock that off. Right, I'll get the chuck on. So I hope everybody's well and haven't too much of a bad weekend. I think the wire's not going to pick up much for us here at the minute. It's sort of drizzle and more drizzle. And that's why it's been all weekend, and it's sort of been crap, pretty crap.
Yeah, we've been blessed with lots of sunshine, but that means no rain, which means no cutting grass.
You could have some of mine.
I wish. JP Woodwork has joined us. Hey, JP. I wish you could send me some. I could use it. I haven't mowed my grass in 2 weeks.
So you can see, now that I've mounted on the chuck, my point on the corner of the thing lines up with my tailstock. Okay. If it's far out, you need to do something with it. And, if it's too much in it, you need to just maneuver it a wee bit. I'm just going to take a wee bit off this here to put my live center, and so that gives me something where to put the point in. And I'm hoping it didn't knock that off too much. I think it's okay. Just give it a wee spin. That's all right. So now we're going to start to shape our wee bowl. There's a name for this, and I can't remember what to call it, but there's a thing, three-sided bowl. There is a name for it, and I just can't remember.
I've always simply called it a bowl from a cube. It
Okay.
going on or turning on the bias. You can call it that. All kinds of things you can call it.
So make sure everything's tight, because this is spinning around and it's a cube, so you don't have it round as such. What you would normally do with a piece of a timber, you would bring it down to a round and you'd work on it then. So you have to remember you have these 6 points whizzing round, or 5 points, I should say. I can see clearly on the top here. And you can see the uniform of them is quite good. Usually you can see here at the top of them, they're not too bad. But anyway, we're going to take most of this away.
All right. Roy's the boy has joined us. Hello, Roy. So has Mike from Dances with Aardvarks. Glad to have you along, Mike.
I need to position this to the rest, or banjo, right?
JP suggested this is a knuckle buster. He is exactly right.
Yep.
This is one of those projects you definitely keep your fingers on your side of the tool rest.
Yeah, and I was cutting it today and actually nicked my finger on the bandsaw, so it had. Oh, it was nearly a trip to the hospital.
Don't want to do that.
No. Some times when you're pushing wood through on the bandsaw, especially when you're making a cube like that, if you're taking very little off the side of it, just be careful. Do it with a stick or something. Don't be using your hand, because if the wood just gives way and your hand will go forward, and that's what happened. And I just managed to get it back in time, So just pay attention to what you're doing in your workshop, guys, because things can happen very quick.
Chris at Bailey Woodworks has joined us. Hello, Bailey. I think the first time I did one of these was for a challenge in trade where we had to start with a cube and leave remnants of the cube so that we could tell it started as a cube. So I did one of these. Seems like the piece I got for this was a piece. It came from Sweden. It was a piece of pine that they rounded the top and the bottom, and they let the sides open up. They hollowed it out enough that the sides became oval. Really neat piece.
So we're going to be taking this right up to these points here. Okay, this will give our shape of our bowl. So these points will be more or less staying. Like, well, we'll see as we go along. It's been a wee while from I've done one of these. Just increase the speed a wee bit more and sort of fighting with this here. It's hard as iron. So just bring it up to 1,000 RPM, Mark.
Jennifer reminds everybody to click on the thumbs up.
And just stop the lathe and move your tool rest in. You'd always do that. Sometimes I don't do it. just not going to give you a problem too. Have you overhanging into the rest too much?
Mike said he did a three-winged, three-sided box, but he didn't quite like it in the end. I understand. It is difficult to make a box starting from this position and get everything just right. Sometimes one will get out of whack or something. So let's see, who all was it? Copper and Roy, Leo at MG. All those guys said they've not tried one of these yet. It's a great project. Um, probably looks more difficult than it is.
It's a good test of skill to see if we can get it all to line up. It's not to
Hmm.
turning, it's all to do with your measuring and how you set it up and your jaws and your centers.
Absolutely.
You
Yep.
know, so if you get it wrong, you'll see it on one side. One side will be a lot bigger than the other side. So you want to try it and get it as close as you can, possibly can get it. We're starting to get that down now. So there's only a couple of flat bits coming up to these corners. So you want to take your time coming up to these because you want to leave these corners nice and crisp if you can. You know, so you don't want to take that away. So just bring it overhead. And I'm following my shadow line as the thing's turning to see
Hmm.
where I am. So now and again, just stop it and have a wee look. We're almost there. And in Norway, you can tell when you come to your cut here at the very top, if all your wee triangles are not the same, then you're out a wee bit. And that's on Norway, you'll tell. But in saying that, you can tweak it at the end if it's not too much.
Absolutely.
Not to get
Nigel,
too hung up about it, you know.
Nigel's not tried one of these before. All right, guys, this is going to be your challenge for the next week. You gotta do a bowl on the bias, uh, three corner bowl, whatever you want to call this. There is a bit of air that you're having to cut through, really, until you get beyond those three sides. So well over half of your turning is going to be cutting air. So you just got to be aware of that and just have a good time with it.
Right. Okay, we're almost there. Still wee flats there. I'm just sort of staying away from them a minute. I'm trying to tidy this bit up here around this surface here
Hmm.
before I come any too close to that. Because once you take that bit of timber, you know where to go back on it. You know, so you want to take your time. So concentrate a wee bit at the bottom here.
This is one of those projects that JP's saying is so true. Speed is your friend. Um,
Yeah.
all that air that you got to turn through, if you have the ability and to turn it fast, you are in good shape.
So now coming to the foot of this, it's your own preference what you want to do, what way you want to present this. Some people have taken them off right down and left a wee small foot. You can make it as such that this is like a wee pedestal if you want on the bottom.
Hmm.
There's no there's no wrong way of doing it. It's what you think looks best. But I'm going to take it down to a wee small foot. So I want to get most of this away and leave myself a tenon for when I turn it around.
Chris Bailey has said he's done a couple of them. The hardest part is getting it exactly centered on the 2 points. He missed the very beginning, but he'll go back and watch it. Yes, Chris, Paul did a great job of making sure just put the one corner in the into the Morris taper of the spindle, and then had nipped the corner off the opposite corner so that he could put his live center into it. But you'll want to go back and look at that and just see how he does it. Not
It's
hard.
easy. It's the easiest way of doing it because you're left with a point here, and I'm trying to get your your point into it. It's quite awkward. So if you put a chisel a wee bit off or cut a wee bit off on the end of it,
Hmm.
you can always you you wherever you think the center is, put it in, and then get a wee bit of tape and do all the wee bits I showed you with a pencil. And if you're out, then it's easier to move it because you have a flat surface to move that center pin, on rather than have a wee small point. It's hard to do with a point. You're better with a flat surface. So
Nigel said it's not the air that bothers him, it's counting his fingers afterwards. Have trouble counting
just
to 10 there, Nigel?
just keep all the fingers on one side.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Stay on
So
your side of the tool rest. It's
I
so
just
much
increased
easier.
the speed up to 1400 RPM.
Lovely.
To say it, this is very hard. I don't know what kind of oak it is, but it was free, and I can tell you it is very dry. It's
You're exactly. Chris said as long as you count the same at the end as you count at the beginning of the project, you're good. You're exactly right, Chris. You want the same number for top and bottom.
just going to stop at having an RB look to see what size I want to make this foot. You don't want to have it too small. You want to have a nice surface for it to sit on. Okay, it's almost there, so I'm going to pick some of that away.
Haley at Wooden Burl has joined us. Hello, Haley. Glad to have you along tonight.
So I'm just forming the tenon I want on the bottom of this. Just check that straight across. Okay, happy with that. So we'll take some of this waste timber off. We'll get rid of this wee nubbly bit. So just wanted to get rid of that so we can bring the tailstock up closer to it.
Vinny Bayo has joined us. Hello, Vinny.
Okay, so we'll just engage the tailstock again. Now we've got that where we want it. So that'll be my cannon. That'll be sort of the foot. So we need to finish this now. So I want to bring in that flat bit into the piece now. And then get a good finish on it. So I'm turning the speed up again because speed's your friend when you're doing this. You have a lot of air flying around three corners, so just going to bring that up.
Lucy Sweet Potato is in. Hello, Lucy.
Just want to see where that is. Now we brought that one in. There's a wee bit in that one, you see, and a wee bit in that one. So you'll never get it 100%, but as long as you're somewhere there, you can sometimes sand that wee bit and you not notice it. As long as your side wings are looking not too bad, you can got all three of them. They're all cut in, so they're not too bad. I can sand a lot of that wee bit of tar out there. That's only to be expected on the end grain there as it comes around. A couple of wee checks there and cracks. Maybe we taste a super glue in that would be a good idea.
Oak has that tendency anyway, so it's like you say, Paul, it's a good idea just for safe measure, go ahead and put a little in when you can.
Yeah, just right on the edge there. I don't think it would be much of a problem, but Well, you can do it. You might as well do it. And
Yeah.
it's just in that end grain where you always get the tear out and cracking. And just hit that with a wee bit of accelerator.
Because Lucy has just come in as well. Door 60 has just come in as well. But Lucy's asking about what you're making and what the wood is. This is a three-corner bowl or a bowl on the bias. Um, several names that they come by using oak. This is some oak that was given to Paul at their meeting.
So I'll try and get this tidied up a wee bit better. It's okay there until you come round to the end grain. So let's see. You can see it better there. You can see that wee bit of tear out, but the rest of it is fine. It'll sand up. So we'll try and get an R wee cut. The R thing, if you don't know exactly where the end of your piece is, you can always put a wee bit of tape on. Okay. And there's a good reference for where your corner is here. Change cameras, didn't it? You can see it there. So that's where my corner is. So I want to start somewhere here. So try not to take too much off this. It's more or less sweeping as you sweep down into the more or less the timber. So see what that done for the turret. Not bad. I could probably sound that, you know. Okay. When you get it to a stage where you're happy with it, just leave it alone. It's better that way because you could just end up going at it and going at it, and before you know it, your corners are off, and you've no way of bringing them back.
does become more difficult. While you're working on the foot there,
So I'm just working on the foot.
I was going to say about grain direction. So many times you hear people always they're talking. You always cut with the grain, with the grain. Um, this is one of those deals where because you got the grain cockeyed, you can't cut with the grain. So don't worry about what direction you're cutting. You're going to have to sand, regardless. So do the best you can, get it as close as you can, and then sand, 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 and sand.
Just want that nice crisp corner and the bottom of that foot. Just using the screw chisel to get me in there. I think we can do a wee bit of sanding and that will keep that all good. So we'll take that away. Get the sanding things on the go. Probably oak's a bit harder to do this with. You put a piece of sycamore or maple maybe. This is very, very hard cutting. So and again, I'm just watching my shadow line as it whizzes around there. You don't go too far and off the end of the piece where you drill. You'll know about it. Some people may be uncomfortable to do this here with a drill, but it's really the only way to get a good enough finish without doing it by hand, because you could be there for a while, especially when that's coming up nice. It's actually, change our camera and you can see that. It's quite nice. So you can't stop it and stand those 3 points. But I'm trying to stay away from them. I only brought it up this far, so you better stop in the lathe, coming up with your. You need to turn that up. Turn that, bring it up, and just stand those 3 bits while the lathe's not going. Because you want to leave them nice and crisp. I'll just stop that before we move on to the next grit. I'm quite happy enough with that. Right. So that was 80 grit. So we're going up a grits now, 120. In fact, this is sounded quite well for. I wasn't expecting to be so good on the finish. Sometimes when you're doing these, a lot of your time's taken up by sanding. Just for the reason that it's 3 sides and you got this pointy bit whizzing around all the time, There's nothing I can do about those. The wee cracks are going to stay there. Right, that's okay. 180. Might have a wee bit extra sanding to do on the end grain here, because you're not gonna get a nice smooth cut, because the grain direction's running all over the place. Well, that's turning around, but you still can't get a decent enough finish.
Jim Shelby has joined us. How to do, Jim? Good to have you along.
Okay, that was 180. 240. You can see I just stopped as I came to the top of that there and didn't go right up to the top, because you could very easily round it over. If you want to do any sanding, just stop it and just bring those wee bits in. Right. And we'll just give it a quick blast with a seat fan then. That would probably do it. Okay. Those wee cracks are not too bad. You can see it more where the wee fissures are running up here. There's two of them there. There's one there and one there. And there's a wee bit of the wee dark streaks running through that. So when I turn most of this away, yeah, it should be all right. You never know what you're going to get until you get into the center of it.
How true, how true.
So just want to get down into here. Sometimes the drill can't get down tight enough into the corner. I'm not worried about this because this will be reduced a wee bit more when I come to turn it around. They took the foot off, so I just want to leave that as it is for now. Don't want to do anything to it. Okay, I'll turn that racket off and we'll get a wee taste of sand sealer on that. Give it a wee shake. I got in the shed there yesterday and I was tidying all the wee pieces from previous Monday lives that I didn't get around to finishing. And I got them all finished and I took them into the house because they were nice and clean and they're all sitting on the kitchen table waiting to get photographed.
Good deal.
You know, and they can soon mount up. I think there was 9 in total.
Wow.
Finished and just taking the foot off and giving it an extra wee going over the sander and finish. You know, it didn't take a whole lot of time, but when you leave them sitting there and gathering dust, it looks bad.
Sure. I had 2 here in the shop that one that needed finishing and one that needed to be refinished. Had one of the water drop bowls that the paint wrinkled up on me for some reason. And Wayne suggested just put more lacquer on it. So I did. And it didn't flatten it, but it built up the lacquer enough that it's not nearly as bad as it was. So I'm pretty happy with it now.
Yeah.
The other was the little oak bowl I did a couple of weeks ago, and I put a band around the just below the rim with some chameleon powder, and it got I had to get the tenon off of it and finish the bottom. Got those done. It looks quite nice. So
just applying a wee taste of Yorkshire grit here. I'll give it a wee going over with that. I'll slow the lathe down a wee good bit. You don't want to be going fast when you're applying the Yorkshire grit. You want to work on the piece. The faster you're going, you're skating over it and you're not really doing anything with it, you know. So slow it down.
Mike at Dances with Aardvarks has asked if anyone has turned or seen anyone turn breeze block or thermalite block or cinder block, or seen anyone turn it.
No,
it's soft and it can be sawn, so
I
it
think
should
Mike's
be
going to try.
Yeah, Mike, go ahead. Go ahead.
Can you go ahead and video it? It shows it.
I don't know what it is.
I know it cuts with a saw. You can cut it with a saw, no problem. It is very soft. Yeah, I don't see any reason why you couldn't. It'll be interesting to see what you got out of it. I think it would be very dirty and dusty, but to tell you the truth, you know,
If you give it a whirl, be sure to record it and show it to us.
yeah, that's an
Then we'll all
idea.
know.
Now.
Well, you can show it to us if it works. If it doesn't work, don't bother.
Yeah,
Or you
you
can
try,
show us the fail,
you
show us
tr-
why not.
yeah, you try all these things once, and if it doesn't work, don't do it again.
Yeah.
You know,
Carson said it would be awfully dusty.
it would be
And
awful
and,
dusty.
and
That's what
Mike
I think.
Mike thinks that full PPE is a must, as it should.
And
He
somebody
also
else turn it.
he also said it might explode.
Yeah, I don't know what way I would react on the lathe. It's one of those things. It's not known. I haven't seen
Yeah.
anybody tried. I've seen
Matt said
mad
he's
things being turned on the lathe, but
oh
never
yeah.
a thermal block.
Matt
So we're
says he's
just
cut loads of it in the past, but he wouldn't turn it. Chris Bailey says you'll be sharpening a lot.
yeah.
Like I said, I don't know what the stuff is, so
It's a thermal block. It's like a concrete block, only it's thermal. It's very soft to cut. And it's good for heat insulation for upstairs, especially if you're a timber frame house and you don't want the way the concrete block are heavy. Well, that
okay.
reduces the weight and the properties of the thermal too, and it being light and holds the heat better.
Okay. Al says, how would you hold it?
You would
Again,
hold it the
Al.
same. You'd have to cut it down like a bow blank and mount it between centers to get a tenon
Okay.
on it. But I don't think it would hold on a tenon. I think it would spin off because it's that soft. If you can cut it with a saw, it's not going to hold the momentum of spinning. I don't
Mm,
think, unless you put it between centers the whole way and turned it that way. I
right.
don't think you could mount it in a chuck. Somebody out there will take the challenge up now.
Now,
Turner.
you just brought up something that I've done before, but I haven't done a live with it. Turning a bowl between centers.
Yeah.
Mike Evans says, I hope you like hospital food.
Yeah. Somehow it doesn't appeal to me that when you think about it's just not worth the hurt and
Right.
pain,
Sure.
and the clearing up afterwards.
Right. And uh, Jamie and the guys over on Creative Makers podcast asked me about. I think it was actually Jen that asked me about turning resin, and that's why I don't turn resin very often. I'll turn an occasional pin blank, or I have turned them in the past. Haven't turned anything resin in a long time because I just don't like cleaning it up.
Yeah, it's
It
a
has to be
messy.
cleaned up and thrown away separately. Um, if you don't save the resin to use in another project, all those shavings, those resin shavings, have to be swept up and then disposed of like you would any other plastic. And I just, I try not to use plastic as much as possible. Um,
Okay, so that was a wee quart of microcrystalline wax I put on that. So we can turn that round now. Oh.
Chris is asking if it's an asbestos product,
No, it's not. It's
like a
at this point.
lightweight concrete. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, it's very lightweight. It's you could you could throw this thing a queer distance if we had one. They're very light. You can cut it with a normal saw.
Okay.
If you wished. What am I looking for, Paul? I don't like that wee nubby bit on that. Doesn't matter. I was going to I'll take it off and bring a tailstock up onto that, just to give me that wee bit of support while I remove most of this timber. I'll probably have to sharpen this bowl gouge again, but we'll take this wee nubby bit off first.
Yeah, Haley's with me. She doesn't like resin either. Okay, Carson says it's concrete with lots of little air bubbles that give some degree of insulation. Okay. If we
Nice.
can cut it with our regular tools,
I'm just going to sharpen this. Bear with me.
if we can cut this stuff with our regular tools, it must not actually be concrete.
I think it's cement in it. It's not like the normal concrete block you would get.
Right.
So it's not the same consistency. It's very very light and powdery if you start cutting it, you know.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up and see what I find out. Is it more like the jasmonite? Some of you that are familiar with jasmonite?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
You're saying
well, I can't come up with a name right now.
okay. Okay. Just turn the speed down before we start this again, just to check it. There's a wee bit of a wobble on that. It's not 100% on the.
Okay.
It'll be all right.
Carson says you can cut it with regular tools, but they'll be ruined for woodworking afterwards. Okay, that answers my question. I'm not doing it. Little bit of discussion about MDF and how dusty it is. Yeah, there have been several people that have shown why you don't really want to use MDF on a lathe.
Yeah.
Structurally, it's just not there.
Nah, I have tried that. You don't want to turn that, and that's worse.
No, right. Todd has said Mike's homework assignment is to do a small project and then report back. My homework assignment is going to be look this stuff up and see what it is.
Right, we're getting down. We're getting down there.
You're getting there.
Yeah, just want to bring it down all the same. We can't. Just going to move the tool rest and a wee bit. Starting to catch the corners there a wee bit.
Mike said he will be trying it. He doesn't mind a bit of exciting explosion and resharpening of tools.
Well, if we don't hear from him next week, you know what's what.
There is something to be said about experimentation. There've been some really cool projects done because somebody had the willingness to experiment. And we also know some things that are can't should not be used. So that's why.
There's a slight difference in that. Should take some more of that.
Yeah, to me that's the hard part is getting all the way down so you have a nice even curve. Closer.
Can't seem to get that bottom bit. The more take off here, I'm just going to try and stay away from that and take more off the middle bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really doing that in fact. You want to leave all this mass in here while you're doing this because you will get a wee bit of flexibility if you take it all away and start doing this, especially in a bigger piece like this. A really small piece, you may get away with it. So that's starting to come in now. Yes.
Might want to take just a little bit more off of that your center lump on the outer edge there.
Yeah, I'm
Just
just going to wind
give
this
you
back a
some
wee bit.
room.
So give me a wee bit of room to get in here. So just down up where my end is, and
Mm-hmm.
let's see what that's like. That's not too bad. I don't want to take it too far. For a quarter of an inch is not too bad. Maybe we get a wee bit more out of that. Yeah, that helped it. So not worried about these edges because you can sand them up on the flat disc. You know, put it in the chuck and you can sand it up that way. Usually, if there's any discrepancy, you can get it out a wee bit. That's why I'm saying if you can get it near enough the square cube and you get it mounted right in your lathe, you don't have a whole lot to do with it afterwards. So I just need to tidy that up a wee bit there. And that would probably do that and concentrate on getting some of this middle out. Just a wee bit of a hump there. Yeah, just lifted a big lump out of that. That's what I was afraid of doing. Right. There's not much you can do with it at this stage. Uh, when you go to sand this edge, you can maybe sand it down further and then do the same on all three to get rid of that discrepancy. That's what you have to watch out for, because these wee bits of the fly out, that's on the end grain there, where that bob bit was there. So we'll not touch any more of that. We'll just concentrate in the middle. We're going to try and fix it up at the end. Right, okay. I was just about to say, watch where your hand is and your tool rest. I
Yep.
could just feel that point, just brushing on the end of my hand there.
That's a great
Just be
view. We can see through
just
the
just be
three
aware
corners.
of it. You can see it on the camera there.
Yep. We can see through those three corners to see your lump inside the bowl. That's a great view.
Right. So while I was taking that away, I was thinking, I'm going to change my mind on this piece. I'm going to leave the raised piece on this, turn it over, and then hollow that wee bit out, and maybe put a wee lid on it or something.
Okay.
So it's okay to change your mind before you get all the timber off. We'll see. I'll just take some of this away and then have a look at that. I've never done it like this before, leaving that ridge in the center. So I was taking it out, but rather than take it down to just the shape of that, make a wee feature out of it and put a wee lid on it maybe. Right, I'll take a wee bit more of that. Just being too greedy there with my cut. Boy, that's warm. Whew. Right. Just seeing what this looks like. Well, I think it'll work okay. Needs rolled over a wee bit more on the curve here. Just change that round so that you can see. So I need to take a wee bit more off that just to bring that round. that's like. That's not too bad. Just need to get in there and tidy that up. Maybe use my spindle guides for that. I got it right under the corner. I did. Okay, I'm happy with that. Right, just right. I'll take a wee bit of this and get rid of that, so that I can sort of get the tail stuck out of the way. Nope. Paul, what are you doing? That could have been a bit of a problem. Okay. So you make sure all your rings are clean and you're to the rest. You need that a wee bit further. It's been behind before, so we'll tidy that front up. Okay. Part and two. Okay. So it doesn't look right when you do this, but you can still change your mind, go back to the original. So I just want to see what this looks like. Might not like it.
Earlier, Roy shared with us that he got another good bargain today, and he just now told us what it was. He got himself a Simon Hope Easy Arm Hollowing Jig with the laser. Roy, I am not even going to ask you how much you had to pay for that.
Well,
I don't want to. I don't think I want to know.
Go ahead, tell us.
Probably stole it.
Being truthful, I have the system. I don't have the whole system, the camera and the laser bit, but I have the rest of it. And I don't see any use for it unless you're doing a whole lot of hollow forms. You know, if you're just in a deep hollowing and you need the system for that, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But the goal to that problem is setting it up and camera and laser and, you know, well, that's all right if you do a whole lot of work, that kind of work. But if you don't do that, I
Yeah,
don't
if you
really
want to
see
do
the
a
point.
bunch, yeah, if you want to do a
Like,
lot of hollowing, a hollowing system
yeah,
is a
it's
must, really.
then, yeah, it will pay for itself. But I bought the Simon Hope Halloween system, and I've used it twice here from I bought it. It was 2 years ago, and it's in the drawer sitting. So, and I know a fella bought the whole system, and he has never used it.
Oh,
Never
mercy.
used it, and he has it about 5 years. Still sitting in the box.
Mm-mm-mm.
You know, so if it's going to sit in the drawer somewhere, it's not really a bargain. It's not doing nothing, you know. Me, it's a waste of money. I'd rather spend it on something else. I think I'm going to go over this. I just need to change the shape of this a wee bit, and then color the rest of that out. There's lots of timber in there, so we need to undercut that. So I'm going to form my wee little recess here. So that'll be my lid. Okay. And we'll just
Yeah, Roy said they're 397 pounds new, but everybody knows him. So Wivy Woodshed has suggested 12.99. Haley says 50 pounds. Any other guesses?
just count it in there with that bulk out. Just stop that and have a wee look to see where we are. Well, I just need to tidy that up. Just a wee bit. It's just a wee bit. That's better. Okay. Happy enough with that. So we'll see if we can undercut that. The rim of that inside. So got this wee tool. It's a wee article to have to undercut that. So it wants to fight you all the time because it wants to bend over. So the vibrations made the tool rest go down.
Mm-hmm.
So don't need much, but I'd be happy with a quarter of an inch.
This would be a good place for a number one hollower.
Yep. So that got me round there enough so that I can get my bow gauge in there. See what that's like. Okay. Okay. Gonna use a right new scraper in this to tidy this up. And I'll probably have to use a smaller one too. So I'm just raising the tool rest because it's not negative rake. So you want to be above center. I can't really see anything, so I'll get my wee light around and see if it'll help me get in there. That's better. I can see now. Got that up the face there. Okay. Small round nose scraper. Get me around this part. Yep. Stop it again. How would we look to see? That's coming around. That's coming around. Yep. Oh, plenty of timber there. That's not too bad. Taking up a bit more out of the bottom and side wall. Yeah, it's nice. I like that. So we always leave that wee nubbly bit in the middle. It's the hardest bit to get out.
Absolutely.
See if I got it. Yeah, I got it. Right, what have I left now? There's a wee transition there. I need that wee angled jobby again, just to bring that round in the corner, just a wee ridge there. And no, my light. That could have been the end of that light. Don't know what happened there. I must have moved it when I was blowing the shavings out. Right, so yeah, that'll be enough for that. I'll just tidy that up with a gauge. Just there. That should be more than enough to clean that up. And it is. Just need to get that sanding right up. Right, we'll sand that up to the best we can. There's a wee bit of stuff underneath. Look at that.
Karsten is having to step out. So, Karsten, you have a great night. Thanks for
Thanks
coming
for coming
along.
in, Karsten. Da, 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 da. Just want to tidy that wee bit up. Right. So we'll sand this. I might get the drill in there, I might not. I'm a well. Go on, Paul, you can do it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's better than putting your fingers in, especially with the three wings running around the outside, and you're bound to hit your hand.
Those wings will cause us to have all kinds of adjustments made to our normal routines, which is fine. We don't have to do everything the same way every time anyway.
But we're not going to help us much here on this bit.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those places. My little angle drill has a little bit of advantage. I don't have as much sticking out beyond my hand. Some of these little tight spots are a little easier, but you use what you got.
Yep. I need to change this sandpaper now. It's done that. Doing nothing there.
What's your plan for those outer edges there, Paul? For
What?
sanding those? What's your plan for those outer edges? How you going to sand those?
I'm going to sand those using the flat disc. I'll put it in that and I'll put my wee table up against it and
Gotcha.
just
Yeah.
that way
Perfect.
I can bring this down to get rid of that wee mishap I had.
Right?
But doing that, you have to do all three sides
Sure.
to make it the same. So
The
there's a wee
one
bit of
has,
leeway you can usually get out of it if you make a wee mistake. You
yep.
know.
One side's got a little ink on it too, so going beyond that'll be fun.
Sander, what do you think? Keeps moving in. Right. Need to get You take it right on that circle part of that. And that's going to be a wee bit sketchy here. Let's see what that's like. Oh dear. Just a wee bit.
And for those of you who are like I am, I've already looked up thermalite, and I now know that it's the ash byproduct that comes from burning fuels at power stations. They take it and grind it up and mix it with other products and come out with this lightweight
Thermal
material.
block. Yeah.
Yeah, it comes in the thermal block, and it's not. It's used more for the construction aspect of it than it is for. Um, it's not really insulation, but it absorbs heat and holds it.
Yes. Yeah. It holds the heat.
Um, it does insulate from sound a good bit, but insulation is not its primary use. It's mostly for building where lightweight material is needed. So that answered my question.
So you're not going to turn it anyway.
I wouldn't. Um, it yeah,
There will
it
be
doesn't.
somebody out there will be jumping at the bit. I've done that.
Yeah,
This is
right.
what happened.
I wonder if you couldn't. Um, I wonder if you could use like cactus juice on it and maybe stabilize it a little more and then use it. I don't think that would do what Mike's wanting it to do, though. He needs something that's, um, he needs the heat resistance. Um, yes, Mike, you're exactly right. People use it for quick and easy forges um, because it does, the heat doesn't go through it, it just kind of goes into it and stays there. So it would make sense. As far as turning it, though, like I said, you might could stabilize it with cactus juice, but I
It would
don't
drink
know
it.
that it would.
It
I'm sorry.
absorb an awful lot, so it would.
Yeah, it would. It would absorb a lot because it would suck up. The vacuum process would draw all the air out. Then the cactus juice would fill all those air cavities.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I don't think then it would be. I don't think it would be fireproof like you need it to be. Um, so that wouldn't work. Help you. I don't know. Only way to know if you can actually turn it would be to give it a try, and I would go slow and easy with it. Don't be very aggressive at all.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just scribbling a couple of grits here because time's getting on, and I don't like keeping you fellow wood turners too late. And the other thing is my legs are getting sore. I'm having awful trouble with my knees lately.
Mm,
I'm not just saying that. I am. See, I'm all right standing for a wee while, and then we when it gets to this stage where you have to bend as such, it,
hmm.
it's hard getting down and even harder getting back up again.
Yes. That's pretty well all the time for me.
Yeah, well,
Not
I've
so much
noticed
my knees. My knees are pretty good. It's my
I've
hips and
noticed
my
more
lower
over
back.
the last couple of months. Yeah, really
Yeah,
sore, and then with the back's not helping either.
right,
I've got a lot of
right.
complaints.
Load of complaints and nothing worth working on.
Yeah. So
I go to the doctor every year to get my head and
I
my
am.
heart and everything checked on, and she says, "You got any other issues we need to talk about?" And so, well, if we start now, we'll never finish. So I just
Yeah.
leave.
The last time I seen that doctor, I didn't really see him. It was COVID when they were giving the
Mm,
injections out.
yep.
That's the last time I seen them, and it was only to get the injection. It wasn't a consultation with them or anything to do with
Right.
anything else wrong with you. But before that, and maybe about 3 years before that, you know,
Right. Right.
another big one for the doctors. I'd rather suffer. So we then go to them because all they do is give me a load of tablets, and I've got enough tablets to take at the minute. Oh God,
Sure.
there's the knees now. Oh, I dropped my sands here on the floor there.
That's that's precisely why I go every year because they will give me refills for 1 year and won't go beyond that till I go see the doctor again. So
You see, we're different over in the UK. Our doctor, Christian, is different altogether.
mm, yes, yes, it is. Yeah, well, my doctor could give me a lifelong prescription if she wanted to, but she's not going to do it because then I wouldn't come in and she couldn't fuss at me because I hadn't done a test or two that she wants done.
To tell you the truth, Doug, it's got the stage over here. They don't want to see you.
Well, yeah, right,
They're
right.
saying they don't have the time and to take on. Now I know for a fact that my uh, doctor's practice of over 5,000 patients,
Mm,
and
mm, mm.
and because they were complaining about not being able to see them, it's not even that. You can't even get a frigging phone call to get in to make an appointment.
Right.
It's open from 8:30 in the morning to 9:30. You have to phone between that hour, or you don't get phoning at all. To
Wow.
make an appointment. That's what the system is, and it's just unbelievable. And if
What?
even I was down there getting bloods taken there last week, and I had to go out and ask the girl at reception. I said on my wee script that I had to get my bloods and my cholesterol done, and before they would issue my blood thinning tablet. And what's happening? Do I need to order it? No, it was done this morning, so they knew you were coming in, so they reissued it. There's me, all right. Sure, I haven't got the results back yet, you know.
Golly.
But you know, but even if you went to her and you were talking, I need an appointment to see a doctor. They'll turn around and say to you, phone between 8:30 and 9 or 9:30 in the morning. You
Wow.
know,
Wow.
and you're there. Why can't they do it? That's my gripe with them.
Sure. Sure. So what
Yeah.
do you do if it's more of a emergency kind of thing?
And then you can phone
Go
the out
to
of our service at 6 o'clock, and you can go down and see a doctor.
okay.
Yeah, if you really need to, or you don't want to go to the hospital because you could sit there for 3 days and
Okay.
A. You know. So
Right. Right.
the long story short, don't get sick. You know.
Yes. Right.
So right, I'm not going to do a whole lot more to that. I want to clean those ends up on it. And what time is it? It's 20 past 9. Guys,
Yep.
I'm not going to do the lid tonight. I will probably do the lid tomorrow. And I'll post a. There's it. I'm going to do this wee bit first, and let you see the sides cleaning up. And you've all seen the lid, so you don't need to see an or lid. Where's my wee table? There's it there. So we'll put the wee table in. We'll sand that ends up.
That is something I need to fix for myself is a table. That is so handy. Can be used for so many things,
Oh, so
whether it's
yeah,
sanding
yeah.
like Paul is doing here, or if you're going to do some
Oh, this is
pyrography.
it's all
Yeah,
there as a wee piece of wood, and
yeah.
you just bring it up the same as you had a wee disc sander, and that allows you to. You want to bring it more or less up to where halfway is, so that it doesn't spin it out of your hand. Okay, and this is going to give an angle on this because I haven't got the foot off it. So normally, normally I would bring that down as far as it will go. We'll have to do it upside down. Yes. Oh, no, that might work. Let's see. No, it's too high. I'll have to do it the other way. Right. You can get the gist of this. So I'm going to sand that around the rim. I may even do it without that because it's going to put an angle on that. That'll work. That'll work. It's just too big. I've left this on and I've left this foot on, or it's not sitting flat on the surface of the wee table, but that's the way I normally would do it. I'm just taking this bit down with the bit of it out of it first to see what we have. It's almost gone. Just still a wee bit. Right. I need to bring the ortho sides down as well. Bit awkward with no rest have it on, but
Haley says it's looking good. I would agree with her. It's looking very good.
come on. Just looking to shoot. There's there. I couldn't find it there. The wee bit. There's still a wee nick in it. I just want to take a wee bit more off that. There we are, guys. Uh, it's not finished, but I will finish it tomorrow. Put a wee lid on a finial and cut the foot off. But you can see the ends have cleaned up okay, and I got rid of that wee number
Hmm.
chipped out. I'll take a wee bit more time tomorrow to tidy that up. There's a wee angle on that. I need to clean up. But I might put an actual bevel on it so it is beveling up in the end coming to the top here, because I can get it on a lower setting on that table. I have to take another piece out of the banjo to do it. So I could do that, and that will give me a flat surface to put that on so it's not juddering as I try to sand that right round. And I'll just tidy that up. Maybe get another wee sanding tomorrow as well.
Yeah.
Uh,
Rob, the
but
professor, is asking how will you take the foot off of it now?
well, Now I've got a thing for a lid. I can use the chuck jaws to remount it. There we are.
Exactly what I was thinking. That'll work
Yeah.
beautifully.
So the thing is, when you're making something, if you're going to add stuff to it, you have to think about how you're going to take a food off. The other option would be to put uh, an old bowl. You have plenty of those lying about. Oh, an old bowl on it and a big pad, and bring a tailstock up. You've marked your center hole, so you can bring your tailstock up and center it from there. Remove most of the timber, and then you can sand the rest away with a sander. So you're not stuck. You always have an option of getting to it, and you can see it's quite uniformed. Just needs tidied up on the edges, but time's getting on, guys, and I don't want to keep you much longer. My wee knees won't stand much longer.
Twisted Pete of the Trees has joined us. He said, "Good morning, all. Came to see the end." You surely did,
Oh,
Pete.
so you can watch it back, Pete. Well, thanks very much, guys. I really appreciate you coming along and taking the time to watch what I was doing tonight. I know the title said something different. I always change my mind. What am I looking for? Shed. I always change my mind. And what do you call it? When I got that bit of mahogany or bit of oak,
Oak.
when I came into the shed this afternoon, here's me. I'm just going to cut that and we'll use that. I was going to do something different. I've been playing around with colors, and I'll show you. Now I haven't got this really perfected yet. This is only a wee test.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's not right. I'm still working on it. I just need a new piece of plywood. I'm testing this out on it. I'm still getting, because it's plywood, I'm getting a lot of bleeds through. So the plywood's no good for it. So I'm still playing with that. I plan to do that one time, sometime, but not at the minute because I haven't got it the right order of things, and it's not the right piece of wood. It's the open grain on that plywood just sucks the color in past the
Mm-hmm.
tape, you know. So uh, I've got the right tape and all. I've got that frog tape with uh, what do you call him? Um, what's his name? Martin? No. Will come to me. It doesn't matter anyway. But I've been trying with that, and I've been trying a couple of other things. I've got anything going wrong, and I want to try and want to do, and just getting time to do them. Now I have
Yeah.
all this or stuff out of the way. I can get out to my shed now, and yesterday was the first I got all those things cleared up. You want to see that bench over there? It was sitting from all the projects over on the Monday nights, sitting to be
Yeah.
waiting to be finished off. But they're all done now, and uh, catching up on things. Now the new center is finished, and I have my first demo next Tuesday night in it. Ooh, it'll good. It'll be
Be
good.
great. Be great.
So I'm looking forward to that and showing the place off. Because we've worked hard on it. But
Absolutely.
made a wee video, so I'll stick it up of the premises and show you. It takes you through what we done when we arrived to it. It's finished now. So I'm putting that wee video together, and I'll stick it up on YouTube on my channel and let you see it. It's just a wee bit of interest to see what
Yeah.
I've been doing over the last month or so. From we got that place. But anyway, thanks very much, guys, for coming in, and as always, uh, if you don't like what you see, I'll not see you again. But if you like what you see, please consider subscribing to the channel, and it helps me out a break. Stuart Farini, Nigel, you got it.
Yep.
Yeah, couldn't remember his name. Stuart's coming to us in October, so for an all-day demo.
That'll be
Uh,
good.
so yeah, so I'll get some tips off him when he comes.
There you go. There you go. He'll have
So,
some for you, I'm sure.
oh, uh, okay, guys, I'm going to say night night, and I'm not going to bar tidying this up. My knees are shattered. So it's bye from me,
Bye.
and it's bye from Doug, and I'll hopefully see you all next week.
Bye,
Okay,
everybody.
cheerio, bye.